Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. I know it's been a while. I apologize. Everybody, let me know if the audio sounds okay tonight. You can hear me everything before we get started. Uh, just figured I'd come back on, man. I apologize to everybody. Been having a good summer. I played with my baby girl all summer. Been on my little workout. Been in the gym every day, so everything has been cool, y'all. This also is my birthday live too. How about that? So 45 years old. Big B, what's up, my brother Durst? Squid Ink, Pasta, Rayo. Man, salute to everybody. Appreciate y'all tapping in tonight. We're going to talk about a couple things that have been going on in TDCJ. Always an interesting topic when you talk about the news. A lot of silliness and stuff like that, too, been happening. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but we have a warden. Wallace Unit Warden will be the first thing we talk about. Okay. The man is supposed to be in charge of everything. Basically, the king of the castle has been arrested at a Walmart. Think about this. Texas prison warden arrested at Walmart for allegedly scanning the wrong price tags at a self-checkout. Come on, man. Think about that, y'all. He's hot about it, too. It hit the news, hit the media, and everybody's talking about it. But I want you to think about it. No one of these prisons are like they are, right? I've always said that the warden sets the tone for everything. There's nothing going on in the prison that he don't approve of and know about. And imagine him with morals like that. Once again, Wallace Unit Warden arrested for allegedly swapping price tags at a self-checkout. Can you imagine that? No, I appreciate it, Dave. What's up, Dave? Y'all drop y'all's location in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. And I appreciate everybody being in here too, man. We're live on Facebook right now, live on YouTube at the same time. And if y'all watched the last video I did it with Keith. He was an ex-prison guard, and we discussed the alternative living unit, which is basically super seg. It's the end of the road in Texas. It's for people that are violent offenders. They've attacked prison guards, killed other inmates, escape artists, things like that, right? And a couple days ago, one of those guys popped out of his cell and stabbed somebody. And I'm hearing reports that it might be a fatality, but I'm not sure. If anybody knows more about that stabbing that happened at the Super Saiyan Cofield, drop it in the comments. Let us know. But I have heard several reports that somebody lost their life due to that one. And that's crazy because when you think about it, this is supposed to be the most secure area in the state of Texas. Literally super seg. It's a 12-man seg unit, a little hallway. And they got to roll the shield when they come down. Only one person out at a time. And here we go with another homicide in there. It's definitely not the first one. So if anybody knows more about that or anything that we're talking about tonight, put it in the comments. Let me know. If you're watching the replay, do the same thing. All right, so another thing I want to talk about, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but in 2014, there was some guys that did a machete murder. And it was said at the time that they were MS-13 members. As you know, the MS-13 is notorious for decapitating their victims with a machete. They're taking them out. So the machete murder happened to a young 14-year-old boy. The guy that done it, I believe he was 17 years old when he done it. It was 3 of them, but one of them was 17 years old when he participated in this machete murder, and he was recently killed on Pulaski Unit. Think about that prison justice right there. You take a young man's life in the woods, and bam, a little bit later in prison. It took about 10 or 11 years, but karma got him. Now he's in the ground somewhere. All right, so a lot of people that was related to a young 14-year-old boy is definitely happy to hear that one. They really are. And speaking of Pulaski Unit, y'all, it's kind of been off the chain too. I don't know if y'all seen this, but recently there was a guy that was stabbed 50 times on Pulaski Unit. He passed away, and he's out of there. All right. But the crazy part is they arrested an officer of Texas prison guard for knowing that the man had been stabbed and not rendering aid, not calling backup, not calling medical or anything. He basically just walked past the dying inmate and didn't tell nobody. 50 stab wounds is a lot. And we're talking about a pool of blood. However many pints of blood you got in your body, what's it, 8 pints? That's how many that leaked out of that man. And, you know, prison's prison, man. Things like that are going to happen, right? But for the guards just to ignore it, it's actually probably typical. I got a video on this channel from Beto Unit, internal security video, where the guards are just manhandling the guy that died about a minute later in the video. All right, I had to cut out the part of the man passing away in the video because it was too graphic for YouTube. But he's passing away. Internal injuries. They literally just keep re-standing him, yanking his hands up. Big B, I appreciate that, my brother. They just keep re-standing the man, dragging him up behind his back with his hands. And the rest of the video that I couldn't show was them just tossing him on the gurney like a potato sack. Unbelievable. This is not the life you want. This type of stuff we talk about. You don't want to pass away in a Texas prison and get tossed on the gurney like a potato sack, y'all. That's not what's up, right? So sometime this week there was another murder on a stale unit. A stale unit's been going down. A lot of stuff happening on a stale unit. That's an old school ID unit. And man, I don't know what to say. You never know where it's gonna happen at. I know about 4 or 5 that happened a few months ago within the last probably 6 months on Styles unit over there. They've been popping their ass left and right. And then look, around the same time, a captain was beat silly on a stale unit. And that's kind of a big deal too, because listen, the captain is big rank over there, right? And when that captain comes down there running, he gets beat silly. There's hell to pay. They used to say, hell to tell the captain. But boy, they beat his ass. I don't know why. Nobody's told me why. But I got a good suspicion of why. All right. So it's been a lot of crazy stuff happening, man. I really should have been making more content as everything goes on. Ferguson unit, officer stabbed, attacked. Where else? Hightower in unit. I think somebody was downed over there. Man down, passed away on Hightower unit recently. Let's see what else happened. Man, there's just been so much stuff. Segovia unit. Segovia unit. We did a lot of videos when they first started this 15-day lockdown for anybody on the cell block getting caught with contraband. And there's been a lot of violence behind that. A lot of violence. Segovia unit the other day, inmate got caught smoking K2, got the 15-day lockdown. They put his lights out. Passed away, murdered. They said he was stomped to death, got up in his bunk, or they threw him in his bunk actually. And he sat there and just, his brain was bleeding or something. He passed away. So there's been a lot of activity. Miss T, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh, what else going on? All of G4 and G5 just finished a 60-day lockdown. On a 60-day lockdown, they put them on 230s is what it was. They said the guys in G4 and G5 been so violent across the state. So many murders, so many stabbings, people hit with fan motors, crazy stuff like that, that they locked them down system-wide. And they finally just let them up right there, so that was rough for them fellas. Imagine being locked down in your cell 60 days straight in the July and August, and the hottest months in the state of Texas. Got these violent, aggravated dudes, but they were happy as hell to come off, right? Everybody get to go outside or go in the day room, get to do that little thing right now, but it's been hell too. Somebody say my brother got beat up by 3 guards and 12 building on Telford unit. I don't doubt it. Man, I can think of so many reasons why this is not the life you want, right? It really is. But that's just a small sample of what's been going on. But I tell you what has surprised me is the number of guards that's been arrested within the last few months. They've been changing something, y'all. I think it's got a lot to do with the publicity, the social media, people talking about it. Definitely has a lot to do with the tablets, being able to reach out and tell the families what's going on. They can make noise on the internet and all of this. And here goes the craziest one. There's a family member making a lot of noise about Clemens' unit, saying that her cousin was fed a doo-doo sandwich, y'all. And you heard that right. He said, I'm sorry, I hate to laugh about it. Listen, they said, and he's saying that they literally gave him a Johnny sack when he opened his sandwich. Somebody did a number 2 on it. Yeah, come on. Can you imagine sitting in your cell, hungry as hell, locked down, commissary ain't ran, you ain't got nothing to eat, and you open up your brown bag and there's a doo-doo sandwich. What you gonna do about that, y'all? That is ridiculous. So many crazy things. Let me see what you said, Durst. Let me talk to the comments for a minute, man. It's been a while. Cold unit moved all the tangos over there. Yeah, Junior said 2 Johnnies ran a squad on Bill Clemens Unit G5. Man, I appreciate that. Y'all do me a favor if you're watching live on YouTube, double tap the screen, help me get them likes up. Like I said, it's also my birthday live right here, so we're just kind of kicking back. I figured I'd come back and do a little talking to everybody, man. The system is improving in certain ways. There's more programs. There's the field ministers, the what do you call them, the mentor program and all of that. But at the same time, it ain't getting no better. It ain't getting no better, man. They're still having all these homicides. People still dropping like flies from the heat. And it's just horrible, horrible. When they installed the 15-day lockdown due to one person on your cell block, that's when everything really went wrong right there. Because how the hell can an entire cell block control one crash out? Squiddy Pasta said, any updates on the street beefs? No, sir. Number crickets chirped when I did that. I didn't expect no reply, man. I just wanted the man to shut the fuck up, and that's what he did. So it worked. Terry said he did 5.5 on Clemens. Miss T, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so another inmate they were talking about on Styles' unit, G4, G5, I'm not sure, got hit with a fan motor and a pillowcase, cracked his head open. Initial reports was that he passed away, but I heard he did not pass away. But I would almost assume some type of brain damage or something like that. Imagine getting hit with a fan motor and a pillowcase with a grown man swinging it all the way. Not a good look. Not a good look, and somebody wasn't paying attention. Probably sitting at the day room bench, table, playing cards or something, and crept up right behind them. They'll walk with them things in their pants, man. Swinging right there between their legs, whip it out at the last moment and break your dome open. Junior say week 1, day 1. Yeah, so that's what they're doing. When we talked about it, when they first installed the policy of the 15-day lockdowns, I mean, we said there was going to be a lot of violence. There was going to be a lot of violence. And so far, it's the only thing that's happened. It hasn't stopped any contraband, hadn't stopped anybody from smoking, hadn't did shit. We're going to call this a failed policy. TDCJ, you failed on that one, man. You really did, Dominique. Thank you. I appreciate that. Here's the problem. They're knowing that the policy is failing. They know that people are getting hurt. They know it's not stopping anything. But are they going to stop the policy? I doubt it, because that will basically admit that they knew they were wrong and maybe responsible for some of the violence. You know what I mean? Victoria said now they have iPads. Yeah, crazy part is if you're indigent in there, that thing's damn near useless. Isn't that wild? Better have some money for that. I-45 South, salute. Lewis said 2011, I was at Dolph Briscoe unit, broken city water main, no water to the unit for 5 days, followed by a 68-day lockdown. Shake the whole unit in the middle of June. Ooh-wee. Yeah, that's not too good. Life of a felon. Salute to Corpus, my man. Simon, what's up, man? Victoria, Texas in here. Mike say love and prayers from Virginia. I'm thinking of Texas where Simon is. You say it's hot MF for fighting every day. A-Row and D-Row, you already know. Fam, G4 and G5 is closed custody and medium custody. Medium custody is G4. That's what they call it now. G5 is closed custody. Prisoner X known. I appreciate it. Salute my brother. Brandy Massey, Lubbock, Texas, man. Y'all keep dropping your locations, and I like seeing where everybody's watching. So if y'all know, man, I ain't did no content in a while. I really haven't, man. I've been just living life, taking care of my little daughter. I've been in that gym, lifting weights every day. Just been trying to stay out the way, man. But I thought about it, this platform has helped a lot of people. It's shining light on a lot of stuff, and it's not fair that I'd stop. A lot of stuff needs to be talked about. A lot of people need to hear the truth, because, hey, listen, you'll hear these old timers go, oh, it's sweet in there. They got tablets and all this other stuff. Well, last year they had as many murders as they did in the height of the TS and Mexican Mafia War in the 80s. Right? Tablets ain't stopped shit. Not at all. Dominique from Galveston, salute to the mark. That's what's up. I didn't know. What's up to you, neighbor? Brenda Rogers say Texas, Austin, Texas, Lewis. Oh, you said they just started that when you left U's unit. Yeah, man. Listen, that's literally, so when they're doing that 15-day lockdown, that's literally them looking for inmate justice, inmate on inmate to take care of stuff. But you think the people gonna stop selling shit in there, stop making money, so they can stop getting locked down? Hell no. You think the dope fiends gonna stop wanting to get high just because they might get locked down? No. You think the men ain't gonna beat them half to death when they miss their visits and turn their tablet off and can't call nobody and all that? Hell yeah. Like, it's literally, that'd be like, listen, to really think about it, it'd be like living in some apartments, right? And in these apartments, your neighbor sells dope. And the neighbor on the other side, he gets high, drink, beats his wife, and all of a sudden they come and arrest the entire apartments. What kind of shit is that? Like, think about it. I know that's a vague comparison, but that's the best I can think of it, right? You're minding your business. You ain't caught a case in 2 years, and all of a sudden you're locked down because some clown down there can't stop smoking. Candace Marie says, Kentucky, salute. Oh, you got a man in Roach unit? Okay. Is he from Kentucky or is he from Texas? Larry say, Dillon, South Carolina, checking in, man. That's what's up. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. The channel's definitely out the algorithm. We hadn't been live, hadn't did a video for a couple months, but we're going to get back to it. We sure are. Oh, he's from Texas? Yeah. So I actually did time with 2 different guys from Kentucky before. And believe it or not, of course, we called both of them Kentucky. They were 2 white guys. And one of them was a buster, but the other one was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Michael Rivera, Dallas, Texas. Salute, man. Brenda say her son is at Ferguson unit and it sucks. Yeah. So, Brenda, not to be rude, but that's the whole point of my entire platform is prison sucks. Like, it sucks. I don't give a damn what change they make. You're still not in the free world. You still ain't got no women. Best you can hope for is some commissary. That shit sucks. Somebody was asking me the other day what it's like eating commissary food for years and chow hall food. I told them, just go buy all your groceries for a month at Dollar Tree. Right? Me and Prisoner X Known was talking about that. Go buy all your groceries for a month at Dollar Tree, and then you'll soon find out what living and eating in prison is like. That's it. You're going to have bullshit on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Amy, what's up? Shout out to Corpus Christi. My little homie, Crazy Boy Braid, one of the artists doing life on Robertson. Hey, man, shout out to all them lifers. I'll tell you what, because it's a hard one. It's a hard one, my boy. Right there in the comments, 25 years in on a life sentence right now. I guess to a certain point, an extent, you get used to it, right? But you never miss that free world. You never stop wanting to come home. You never stop wanting a soft woman to lay on. It's hell. So you went from Telford to Ferguson, Win and Hughes, now Roach. No, yeah, none of those are good units for sure. Telford is rock and roll. They steady breaking boys' heads up. Telford constantly. Ferguson. Win unit is kind of known to be a good unit if there is one. It's a lot less violence at the Win unit. They got programs and all kind of stuff over there. Hughes rock and roll. We know that. Same thing with Roach Unit. Roach Unit's had a lot of stuff. I think Roach Unit is a medium security unit, so maybe he went down in his classification, which would be good. Chantel says her husband is in Leavenworth, Kentucky, and their prison sucks as well. So he's in the feds, huh? My friend, one of my cellmates, actually did some years in Leavenworth, like years before he, excuse me, before he came to Beaumont in the feds. And he said Leavenworth was so old, so decrepit, that it was horrible. Probably still a little bit better than the state because they got better commissary. You got a little more privileges, but every bit as violent or more. And just in them old buildings, man, in them old buildings, some old living areas, everything is dusty. You got dust bunnies in the corner, roaches running around. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Let's see. What's popping on Torres Unit? You know what? I don't know. I don't think I heard about Torres Unit lately. Torres Unit is a fool too. Down in that heat, man. Let's just say Roach was the best. He got stabbed at Wynn, and damn, he got stabbed at Wynn and on Telford. Telford was the worst. The inmates ran the pods with swords and would pop the open the cells while they were sleeping and jumped them. It was crazy. Damn, he got stabbed on both units. That's wild. I hate to hear that. And yeah, shit, that's how Beto was. You could pop the doors open. People would definitely pop in and rob each other and do all kind of stuff. So over there, I mean, the only thing that would stop you from getting popped in on the middle of the night was just people respecting you or being scared of you. If you were solo, not running with a gang, and really not established there, you let anybody do anything to you before and you didn't get no revenge, they was gonna run in on you, pop your door in the middle of the night. On those prisons like that, sometimes they'll come do it with a ski mask on. They'll make a homemade ski mask. Joe G say I was on Ramsey 1. Yeah, I got a good friend that's on Ramsey 2 right now. They changed the name to Stringfellow Unit. Old as dirt too. I think my brother was over there when I was young also. Mr. Larry, rest in peace, Mr. Larry had a bunch of stories about Ramsey 2. He'd tell us. He said that was one of the sorriest prisons there was back in the old days. Artie, what's up, Artie? Shout out to my brother in California, man. How you doing? I was just telling him, man, it's my birthday live. 45 years old now. You know what? I'll tell you what, it feels good to be 45 too, because I remember one time wondering if I was gonna live to be 18 years old. I made it to 18 thinking, man, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna make it to live to 30. Got to 30, still wilding out, went back to the feds in my 30s. Now I'm 45, got my little daughter, man. I'm trying to live forever. Trying to live forever. Brandon say they ran by rascals right now, not anything like it was in '08. Was told this by my homeboy who just got out. Well, listen, anything in the penitentiary, any gangs and all that, man, it's a young man's game. It's always gonna be a young man's game because usually people age out of that, man. They kind of pull back. I ain't saying like drop their flag or put down their affiliation or anything, but people pull back a little bit. And then guess what? It's gonna be the young hardheads running shit. Brenda say, let me pull that back up. Brenda say, I think it's dangerous behind the walls and on the streets. My son's got 10 more months, and I'll be so glad when he gets out because I'm tired of doing the time with the man in the wall. So, Brenda, that's something else that I was talking about, man. One of my friends has a son that's doing 40 years right now. And I tell you what, me personally, never even gave no damn consideration to how that was doing my family until my grandma literally got sick, physically sick, when I got arrested one time. And I was thinking, man, this is my fault. And by that time, it was too late. Anthony says TCB still relevant. Seen a Gangland episode. You know what? So I don't Bobo, what's up, my brother? Man, I had a homeboy that was a Texas Chicano brother I was locked up with in Coastal Bend Detention Center. And that was my dude, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love him. I ain't gonna say his name, but I love that cat. And you know, if you watch my story when I was in prison, I was a Crip. He's Texas Chicano brother. And we was like this, man. Still talk to him to this day. I don't think he's active anymore. He's working and doing his thing in life, and I'm proud of him. But yeah, they're still there. They're still there. They've always been small, but I know in the feds they're on El Reno in the feds, still small. But there's some real ones. Okay, Miss Vanessa, what's up? How you doing? I'm just BSing tonight. We ran through a little bit of news. Audio. Hold on. I didn't hear about that, Ken. Who was that? What you mean, whacked out rapper that smuggled drugs as a visitor? I didn't hear about that at all. Bobo, what's up, my brother? What's going on in Oak Cliff? Y'all good? Tell Ben I said, what's up, man? Much love. We got people all over the country in here today, man. Y'all, we streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, in case y'all didn't know. Ken, tell me who you talking about. I sure want to know. Maybe I heard about it. I can't remember. Bobo, you say your nephew's going to Safe P? Man, so what? Safe P is like a rehab. That's you're gonna have to go to programs and do them group meetings and all that other stuff. Hold on a second. Getting hot in here, man. Yeah, so Safe P, I ain't gonna lie, I never went to Safe P. That's like a parole violation or whatever, but felon drug test. But I've never heard about Safe P being any fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're gonna have to sit around in a circle. That's where they start having to tell on each other and everything else. Okay, Dave, I might try to come pull up on you, man. That'd be what's up. Dave says he's going to the Dyke Friday, the real guy. Y'all make sure y'all follow the real guy on Facebook, man. REEL. That's my dude. Louis, get out of here with that bullshit. I don't want to hear that. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. This is my hobby and audio setup. If y'all love music too, I thought you was a robot. My bad. I'm talking shit to you. What you selling equipment or something? I don't know. Never seen that before. What Candace Marie say? So you know what? Something I wanted to talk about too, though. I seen a post the other day. One of the prison content creators made, and it was a female content creator, right? And I don't want to be disrespectful because I like what she's doing, and she's doing it from their perspective. But it was about really, really, really promoting the felonies and the arrests and the indictment of the prison guards that are sleeping with inmates, right? And I thought about this a lot. So I can get it on the female side where the men are doing weird stuff to the women, right? And even recently, I think on Clemens Unit, just for fair business right here on Clemens Unit, I heard a rumor recently that a male guard was getting investigated for sexually assaulting inmates, or at least one inmate. I don't think there's been no arrest or anything like that. But I mean, on the man side, you have to look at it like this, right? First of all, there's only a few women in the prison that might do that. A few female guards out of the whole prison. It's not prevalent, it's not common, but it happens. I've seen a prison guard before that prostituted herself for $100 bill. You give her $100 real cash money. This was before Cash App hit. Now they do it on Cash App, but for a real $100, you can get some action, right? And I know the prison wives are gonna see this and cringe, be like, "Oh my God, he cheated on me," right? But think about it like this: these men are doing years. I mean, years. Some people doing life, and of course they're gonna want to get a little action, right? I'm not saying it's legal, it's right, but you have to put yourself in the men's perspective. And where she was coming from was from the female perspective. Like, oh my God, how could anybody sleep with a guard, or how could a guard sleep with an inmate? What's natural attraction? It's testosterone built up in these prisons, right? In the female side, a majority or a lot of the women turn lesbian, right? They don't even want to look at the male guards. And if one of them has a girlfriend, she'll get mad if she catches them talking to a male guard. They have imaginary families. They fall in love with each other. They'll walk around holding hands, protecting each other, fighting for each other. One of them go to the hole, the other one goes to the hole just to go back with her. Right? Men don't have nothing like that. Men ain't in there. If you messing with another man, you're a punk. That's what they're gonna label you. You're a punk. They're gonna do you bad. They're gonna look at you. Come on, man. I'm finna have to block you, man. Keep repeating that weird stuff. Stop doing that. Yeah, so anyway, they're blocking people. I'm blocking people. I mean, yeah, no, the women are excuse me, didn't threw me for a loop right here. The women are establishing relationships, so they can't understand why the man would want to all right, let me get that out of here, man. We don't care about your audio hobby setup. I'm sorry, my brother, whoever you are. That's crazy. Right? The women can't understand because for years of their life, they're getting booty. Right? They're getting booty in there from other women. In a man's prison, that's rare. I mean, it happens for sure. It definitely happens, but it's not common. It's not something that's out in the public, in the open. None of that. So I can understand why women wouldn't understand why men in a men's prison want some booty. Because they get it all day, every day. All right. They switch girlfriends. They liable to have a prison orgy going down. And in a men's prison, if you just you're a real stand-up dude, you're not never gonna do that. It don't matter how much time you got. And heck yeah, you're gonna wanna get a guard if you can. You know, and the dynamics versus the women's prison, in the men's prison, that's the best way to get the guard to do things for you, work for you, help you, bring things in if you need it, you know. And again, the advocates and everybody else cringe to that, like, oh my God, they're bringing things in, right? How dare they bring things in? Wow, shit, it's human nature. Men trying to make some money. Everybody ain't in there with family support. Everybody ain't maxing out commissary. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. Gypsy, thank you, Gypsy. I love you. Appreciate it. And that's what I was getting ready to say, B. Yeah, hell yeah. So if you even what he said, he got a bunch of time from starting in 91. It's dangerous. If you want to play with them women in there, it's a dangerous hobby, man. Because somebody will kill you behind one of those prison guards. Somebody that's never touched that woman will kill you over her because she chose you. You know, it's just real life. But for somebody not to understand the desire of the want and the need of some type of physical affection from a woman, for men gone for years, you just don't even have an ability. What is that called? Empathy. Sometimes these people that are on the internet, sometimes these people that are advocates, they got to put themselves in the inmate's shoes every now and then. Think about what they want, not how you think it should be, right? Maybe talk to them and ask them, you know, maybe ask some hardcore inmates too, not the guys going OPI constantly, the guys writing home begging for help, not those guys. Ask some of the guys that are doing good time, some guys that are in there holding it down, taking care of shit. Like the prison economy is real, right? Like it's a real thing. There's a bunch of money being made and it's necessary. Texas prisons don't pay you for working. They don't pay you for anything. They don't give you, they don't give you free toothpaste in a Texas prison, right? No free deodorant, none of that shit. And if you don't have a family member that's looking out for you, and a lot of these guys doing long bids don't have it, period. So they need things. And I'm not justifying it or nothing. I'm explaining it, all right? It just is what it is. And I've noticed that a lot of the advocates, what they're calling for is more rules, stronger rule enforcement, harsher on the guards, things like that. And I get it, I understand, but from an inmate's perspective, from on the inside, more rules sucks. There's already enough rules, right? You can get in trouble for walking around in a 120-degree building with your shirt off. Think about that. You literally have to keep your shirt on and it's 120, 130 degrees in these buildings. Texas prison, you can't, in the day room, when I was in there back in the day, you couldn't change the channel for your own TV. Once a year, the guard would, I mean, once a year, I'm sorry, once an hour, the guard was supposed to come around and do a channel check and change it with the remote for you. Guess what? You might get one or two of those a day. So, of course, the dudes had contraband remote controls. Of course. Do you expect us to sit there and watch the same channel all day when there's other ones available? You know, it might be 2 football games on TV. We want to flip back and forth. I can think of a million times where contraband was useful for us, you know, period. And I know it's against the rules, but people got to understand you're not in prison for following the rules, and there's nothing motivating when you get there that says, hey, I want to start following the rules today. Hell no, it's actually the opposite. All right, it's the opposite because you're getting in there, you're punished, you're removed from society. You ain't got no reason to follow the rules right now. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna follow these rules for? And you got this big time, you're on these violent prisons and all of that. You go in there trying to be the guy that follows the rules, every rule, scared to do shit. They're gonna call you scary. They're gonna call you a buster, you know? So I don't know. I'm not advocating for contraband. I'm not advocating for people to sleeping with guards, none of that shit. But people gotta understand and look at it from both sides. That's all. Put yourself in the inmate's perspective. How many of y'all would do years in prison and get an opportunity to sleep with a female guard and not take it? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Fred, what's up, Fred? Lisa, how you doing? Gib Lewis was bad back in 2015. You know, Gib Lewis been bad its entire existence. Man, I mean, we got some stories on here with Gary from Corpus. He was on Gib Lewis, and as soon as it opened, all right, that was before they built the Super Seg over there. They built the Super Seg and moved all the prison gang members right there next door, filled it up. You know, so any of these ID units in Texas, man, they're interchangeable. If you want to know the truth, any of them can go down at any time or go up, as we call it. Anything can happen. You got the same type of men serving the same type of time everywhere. Miss T, you wouldn't what? Let me know. Fred, how you been, man? We got some day one subscribers in here. Fufu, what's up? John, salute. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I'm out of practice on this right here. It's been a couple months, I think, since I did a live. You said you had a CO in Hamilton, so you're not lying. Nah, I mean, everybody knows it goes down, right? And the real thing is it probably is abused in the women's prisons more often. You know, like female officers ain't coming through raping men, y'all. There has been times where men officers come through and sexually assault men, though. That's really happened. Bill Clemens' unit used to be notorious for that back in the day. On the female prisons, there's men guards that do it. I actually did a report recently, a few months ago, about a guy that was a psych patient where she had a pet snail. Do y'all remember that when I did that? If y'all watching, she had a pet snail. And that was her pet. She loved her snail. The officer came through and said, if you don't give me some booty, I'm going to step on your snail. So the lady gives up the booty to save her snail. This is how insane prison is. But at the same time, we know how many times them women try to seduce them men, how they do all kind of crazy things too. You know, prison is just a crazy place in all sides. Cowboys couch, your brother was on Beto now in Cofield. Yeah, so a lot of people when they age out in Beto, get a little bit older, they send them to Cofield. You know what? My homeboy Lowlife was on Beto, then Cofield, and I heard he's back on Beto right now. So I don't know why they sent him back to Beto, but that's like old home, I guess. He did years in both places. He's doing a life sentence right now, juvenile life sentence. We was hoping that he made parole a while back, but he didn't. I want to say, but the stories when these girls get through medical check-ins. What kind of stories? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Bill Lewis. No, I don't know Bill Lewis. I'm sorry. Is that your brother? Let's see. Patches 96. I look back all the time about all the guards I hollered at thinking they was something. You get out and realize TDC was a cute thing. I mean, so when it comes to those women in there, you got prison fine and free world fine, right? You want what looks good to you when you're in prison probably won't look good to you when you're out. Troy, I salute you, man. Thank you. Say we got to get checked out medical, right? Ron P. Hey, Dave was over there. He's over there on Styles unit right now. They just went through that 60-day lockdown. They just had to deal with that, man, and that heat. They're feeding them rotten food over there. Foul ass place. Actually, I think a few of the ranking officers after everything happened over there and all the violence they've been having over there got switched around too. So Brian Collier was the director of TDCJ. He was the big boss. And he just got replaced by a dude named Bobby Lumpkin. Bobby Lumpkin, I don't know how he's going to be, y'all, because he started his prison career in 1990. 1990 was still the old days, right? Like that's when prison was gladiator still. And I'm wondering if he's going to have that mentality, like let them kill each other type mentality, or is he going to have like a new 2025 progressive type mentality? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I want to say doctors telling guards about how a roach came crawling out her crotch when they had her in the stirrups. Ugh. What? She went in there to go see the, what's that woman doctor called? I can't, I'm not a woman. She went in to go get a lady checkup and a roach crawled out of her crotch. Welcome to prison. Man, are you crazy? I remember being in school when we was little and somebody opened up their backpack and a roach crawled out their backpack. I was like, when we were little, they never stopped talking about that forever. Yeah, gynecologists. Boy, that's horrible. What you, what you think that doctor thought when she opened up that and a roach popped out? Mm, Lord, that might be the worst story I ever heard from a female prison. You think she put that sucker up there to surprise him? Or how did he even get up there? You know that unit got too many roaches. John, I appreciate that, man. So yeah, man, listen, so that's all I've been doing since day one, right? I've been trying to show these people why this is not the life they want. It goes all the way to prison to the stuff I deal with right now, man, being a father, right? You got all these felonies. Nobody wants to rent your apartment. It's hard to find a job. Like literally, this is a lifelong commitment when you become a felon, man, and there's no turning back. You get one in your life, you can get it expunged, but you can't get them all at all. Killer Chronicles, man, what's up? That's one of my favorite channels right there. Salute, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that channel right there. Great channel. Ron P says, what happens if you get busted with a cell phone? You know what? It just depends where you're at, man, because one of my friends got caught with a cell phone recently. He was general population. They sent him G4. That was it. Somebody else got caught with a cell phone recently. They gave him, what was it, 35 years or something? I think is what it was. And it probably depends a lot on what you were doing with the cell phone, how many times you've been caught, but sometimes nothing. Sometimes nothing. Yeah, Killer Chronicles, man, I'm on it, man. I'll be down. Great channel. Come with that fire content too. I haven't been active, man, at all. This is the first time I did a live in forever. I need to start recording some more videos. I got a little bit more time on my hands today. I was just telling them this is my birthday live here, so figured I'd come in, tap in with some people, see what's going on. Ron P, I mean, some people, some people get them cell phones and guess what they start doing? They're in prison for hurting somebody, damn near beating their wife to death or something like that. Then they get a cell phone. Guess who the first person they call? You gotcha, the wife. Or so I remember when they did the big shakedown on death row, they found, I want to say it was 20 or 30 phones. A few hours later, they caught somebody else with a phone. That guy was calling a Texas senator or a representative or something like that, threatening him. doing crazy shit. If you're not doing stuff like that, then you might get all the way from G4 to a bunch of years, but nothing is guaranteed. You know, I'll tell you what they did do to my friend though. So when he got caught with the phone, he went G4 and they gave him 5 years restriction. Now that's horrible. 5 years restriction. No e-coms, no electronic deposits, none of that. If anybody wants to send them a message or excuse me, money order, that's how they got to do it. They got to write it old school. Vladimir Putin, what's up? When you gonna stop that war, Putin? Look at that. Oh, we got Killer Chronicles and Vladimir Putin in the house. Man, it's crazy. I like Killer Chronicles a little bit more though. I ain't gonna lie. Jose Pena, San Antonio. Look at that. Look at that, Killer Chronicles, man. I don't even know what your name is. I don't know who you are, but everybody in here loves your stuff, man, including me. I think I've watched them all too. So I first found your channel with the what was it? The federal prison gang, the white guys. Were they from like Utah or somewhere? I can't remember their name. I'm sure you know. Soldiers of the what is it called? Soldiers of the Aryan culture or something like that. Yeah, that's how I found your channel. Man, I ain't from Seabrook, man. I'm from Lamarck. My mix, salute West Texas, man. Oh yeah, no, if y'all never seen Killer Chronicles on YouTube, man, go check him out. He does like little mini documentaries or something. Very, very good content. Excellent. Highly recommended. And so there was I have a video on my channel too, where I think I might have the only actual, I don't think he has it on his, but I got it on mine where it's the soldiers of the Aryan culture and the Texas Syndicate member. They was the ones that popped out and killed that black dude from Washington, D.C. I got the actual security video on my channel. And you know what's crazy? So you never know who this is going to reach out, because when I did that, tell me why the man from DC's son wasn't in the comments. There's almost never been a time on this channel that I spoke about somebody and either that person themselves or their family comes into the comments. And that sucked. If you want to know the truth, right? That sucked. I did a short. I don't remember if I did it on YouTube or not. So make sure you follow Texas Prison Stories on Facebook. But that short, it got some decent views on Facebook, and then all of a sudden the next day it just super spiked. And I was like, what's going on? Why this video just spike? What happened is the guy was from, I think, West Texas, a black dude. He had 8 years and he was in USP Beaumont. When he got over there to USP Beaumont, he was doing his time, everything was fine, but they had a little mini riot and he got killed in the mini riot. I think I was the first person to report it. So somebody else spoke on it when it happened, somewhere on the internet. I can't remember who, but I was the first one to report when he passed away, because he passed away in the hospital. And let me tell you something, that started getting shared around his hometown. I want to say Abilene. When that got shared around his hometown, all of a sudden here comes in the comments, that was my cousin, that was my, I think even brother, this is my classmate, this is my friend. And well, it gives you an all new feeling when you speak on somebody, especially their passing, and then their family and friends and everything see it. That's why I always try to be respectful to everybody. Same thing when I made the video about the Birdman from the ABT, right? When he passed away, everybody was like, Snow, why you showing that dude respect, man? He was an Aryan brother and all this other stuff. Well, first of all, Aryan brothers wasn't our enemies in prison. You know, they weren't mostly worried about themselves. And second of all, he's a human being. You know, then later I realized his daughter seen the video and she actually thanked me for doing a respectful video to his father. So there's a lot of content creators that just aren't responsible. They'll come on and talk about things not realizing that somebody's family's going to see it. When the officer killed himself on Gibb Lewis unit in the picket, I knew about it the first night. I talked about him, you know, passing away and everything, but I don't even think the family had time to be fully notified when I did that video. So I absolutely showed respect, and I did not talk about it being a suicide, because that's not a way that your family should hear about us on YouTube, you know. But everybody won't do that kind of stuff. Christopher Mayfly, salute. Labor Day weekend. Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend coming up, huh? I'll be damned. Forgot about that. My daughter's out of school too. Labor Day weekend usually goes down in Galveston on the beach. It used to be like the last weekend of the summer. We was young, that seawall be so filled up with cars and women and people partying. We'd have so much fun. For sure. But listen, y'all, I'm finna tap out of here, man. I'm gonna start doing more content. I appreciate all the love, y'all. If you're following on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Everything I got is the same name. Texas Prison Stories on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. We're doing it all. And we're going to get it cranking back up, put this thing in the algorithm. And I want to thank everybody for the birthday bread that y'all sent, Big B, Miss T. Thank you. I appreciate it. Much love from Galveston County, y'all.
If y'all ain't subscribed to him, check it out. Texas Prison Story family, salute y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. Got another one here for you, man. I just want to say what's up to everybody here.
Yeah, well, you a fella. I say you got me, man. That's what I'm saying.
What Tim Snow.